My name is Michael Sandel. Should we allow prisoners to buy prison cell upgrades? Should we outsource war to private military companies? These are some of the questions we're about to discuss, themes from my book, What Money Can't Buy: The Moral Limits of Markets.
Baruch here with genConnect.com, and today we have the privilege of speaking with Harvard professor Michael Sandel, who's just written a new book, What Money Can't Buy: The Moral Limits of Markets. Thanks for being here, Professor.
Great to be with you.
Now, I had the honor of being in your class as an undergrad at Harvard, and we dealt with many big moral questions, moral dilemmas. And there's one question that's recently come up that I think is very interesting, which is not the question of Club Med, but of Club Fed. And I'm hearing that at certain prisons you can now upgrade your cell.
It's true. This is another example of the reach of markets and market values into spheres of life traditionally governed by non-market norms. The criminal justice system is a place where money and market values are extending their reach. In Santa Barbara, California, if you're sentenced to a jail term and you don't like the standard accommodations, you can now buy, if you have the money, you can buy a prison cell upgrade.
How much are we talking?
$82 a night.
Wow. And that does not even include room service.
I don't think it does. But it's an example, maybe a small example, but of a bigger phenomenon, which throughout the criminal justice system, now we are outsourcing criminal justice to the private sector. More and more states and cities are outsourcing their prisons to for-profit prison companies. It's become an enormous industry.
What's wrong with that on a moral level?
Well, it's an interesting question, and this is one of the issues that the book deals with, how to think these through. The question is, should criminal punishment carry the dignity of the public, and therefore of government? Is the dignity undermined? And also, are matters of accountability diminished? If it's turned over to for-profit prison companies, there have been some clear abuses. There was a juvenile detention facility in Pennsylvania where a judge had a financial interest in the company that ran it and had very harsh sentencing, filling the beds. So there's room. So it's a
I think we could say that is not ethical.
Well, certainly not. So there are questions of accountability, but also the dignity of the public realm and the public voice in criminal justice. It comes out also in how we conduct national security, how we fight our wars.
And so this book will leave us all thinking about questions just like this.
Yes, we now outsource war to private military companies in Iraq and Afghanistan. There were more paid military contractors on the ground than there were U.S. military troops. We didn't have a decide through a public debate whether we wanted to outsource war to private companies, but that is what we've done. So what I'm suggesting is we need to have a public debate about where markets serve the public good and where they don't belong.
Professor Sandel, thank you. And
My
for
pleasure.
more with Professor Sandel and to read his book and learn more about his book, What Money Can't Buy: The Moral Limits of Markets, be sure to check out genConnect.com.